After many delays, Skull and Bones has returned from the depths of the ocean, and we've got a brand new look of the game during the re-reveal stream from Ubisoft. We also got some exclusive gameplay of plundering a settlement in co-op, how to customize your ship, info on post-launch plans, and more. So if you are curious about the game, then totally leave a like to support the channel, and let's go. To catch you up to speed here, Skull and Bones is an open-world pirate action adventure with the focus mostly on naval combat. It is set in a world inspired by the Indian Ocean during the golden age of piracy. You start as a survivor of a shipwreck and begin your adventure in Saint Anne, one of the many pirate dens known around the world. These dens are like hubs where you walk around in third person, where you can craft new ships and equipment, buy provisions like food and ammunition, customize your character with various types of clothing, including pirate hats, and pick up pirate contracts. We will talk about crafting and these contracts further in the video. You arrive here as an outcast with your starting equipment containing a small ship called the Dhow, a basic spear, and then you can go on your way. When you set sail, you change to a first-person perspective while getting behind your steering wheel. We've got a quick look at the map here where we see some islands with various points of interest, shark icons, so dangerous waters, and other ships in the area. You can switch to the crow's nest to get a better lay of the land, and you've got a spyglass to inspect your surroundings. You can find outposts, for example, where smugglers can sell rare and illegal goods, or you can check on other ships in the area to check out their details, like their weak points and how much loot they got. If you're up for the challenge, you can start attacking the ship from a distance with the use of cannons, for example, but you are also able to add other weapons to your ship. We'll share more about those in a moment. So taking them out from afar is one way of destroying ships, but if you would like to maximize your loot, you can also get in close and execute a boarding maneuver. No fighting sequence sadly, it's just a cutscene and you are back on your way. What's not a cutscene, however, is hunting for materials such as animal skins and meat, where it looks like you're on a smaller ship aiming with your spear to fight crocodiles, for example. You can also gather other resources while on your ship like ore and wood for crafting stronger weapons, armor, and ships. Now, what happens when you underestimate your enemy and your ship sinks? Well, first off, you get respawned to the nearest outpost or a pirate den, and most of your cargo will be recovered. However, if you want to get the rest of it, you have to sail out to sea to grab it, and other players are able to steal it from you too, so don't wait too long. Now, when destroying these ships, you gain this so-called infamy, which is the most important thing in Skull and Bones. Infamy is the progression system that works the same as gaining XP and tracks your reputation as a pirate. There are many ranks to get to, each with their own set of rewards, and the higher the rank, the more opportunities you get, like contracts and blueprints for crafting better weapons or upgrades for your ship. And there are many ways to grow your infamy, but the best way to do it is taking on a pirate contract. You can activate these at a pirate den by checking in with other pirates. These deals can vary from taking out enemy ships, plundering settlements or forts, or stealing precious cargo. You can get some great rewards with these when successful, but if you fail, it results in your infamy going down, so you better be careful. There are also other ways of gaining infamy, like treasure hunts, where you can find treasure maps to decipher and eventually are able to uncover buried bounties at outposts. From the footage we saw, it looks a bit like the same way Assassin's Creed Valhalla does it, where you check the map in your inventory to recognize the spot and go there to track it down. I wonder what these bounties contain. You can take on these pirate contracts alone, but to add to your chance of success, you can invite a friend to face the challenge in co-op. You can do this via the social page in the menu, or if you spot your friend at sea, you can invite them there or even join their group. One of the best things about this is that you are able to share your contract with them so they can take advantage of the rewards as well after it's done. In the exclusive gameplay footage, we got an example of how a plunder contract works, where two players take on a settlement together. Through a progress bar on top of the screen, which is called the plunder track, you could see how far the crew was in the looting process. This definitely looks like one of the more challenging activities, with a lot going on, but worth your while to gain lots of loot. The only downside of this activity is that in order to fully complete it, you have to stay in a yellow boundary area. If you leave it by accident and don't make it back in a certain amount of seconds, the plunder will end. During the plunder, you are also able to check shipwrecks around the area to gather resources. This works via a lockpicking system where you have to press a button at the right time. This helps to gain some repair kits and food to keep going. Also, if there's loot in there that you don't really need, you can sell this at the pirate dens. By the way, it's not only the contracts you can do in co-op, everything else in the game is open to play together too. You can even socialize with each other in the pirate dens. And of course, you and your friend can also join a PvP server and try and destroy each other for a chance to be greatly rewarded. Don't worry, PvP is not mandatory. You can easily turn this off if you don't feel like being attacked out of the blue by another player. To take on these pirate contracts or just exploration, we of course want to be prepared as best as possible. You can strategize your way through this by choosing the right ship for your playstyle. There are different types to choose from, like a cargo ship for example, that's a bit slower than the rest but useful to transport larger volumes of loot. Perfect if you're hunting for a lot of treasure. There's a navigation ship focused on exploration, which is much faster and easier to move around but with less cargo space and a bit more fragile. And finally we've got firepower ships who are more focused on the combat aspect with more gun ports and they deal a higher amount of damage. However, these are more challenging to operate, so moving around with this ship can be quite a handful. You can customize these ships at the docks at the pirate dens, so you can change your type on the fly here and can even create loadouts to be ready for any challenge. You can add various weapons on different parts of your ship, like cannons, rocket launchers, giant ballistae, and even Greek fire, which Assassin's Creed Odyssey players might feel familiar with. At least I do. I loved it. Anyway, you can also see which weapon is attached to which ship on your list looking at the little ship icon next to the weapon, which is nice to know and to keep it all organized. We got attachments you can install, like cargo bags to increase the cargo capacity and armor to protect your ship against various amounts of weaponry. In the final part of Ubisoft's livestream, they showed examples like leather and stone that protect against fire damage and terracotta and metal for a better defense against mortar bombs. Interesting detail is that with each type of armor attachment, you increase the hostility of non-player enemies by 50%. So the more you look like a professional pirate, the higher chance you get attacked by pirate hunters or other pirates. We also saw that you can add furniture to your ship, which can upgrade the stats, like an increase in health or cargo limit. Furthermore, it notes that your party members can take advantage of the buff too, as long as they are within 2500 meters of range. So that's really nice for co-op and for your strategy to each add different types of furniture to get the most out of plundering and taking out enemies. You're also able to customize the appearance of your ship, looking at the ship vanity icon with the paintbrush, and finally we can give it a name, which is very important of course for your reputation as a pirate. If we see it correctly, it even shows up on the side of your ship, which is awesome to show off. Finally, enough food, ammunition, and repair kits are also important to have on your ship to stay alive. You can save these resources at your warehouse, which you then can easily transfer to your cargo when needed. There are even some resources that can give you extra buffs, like a water barrel that lets you go faster temporarily. And food is important to keep your crew happy. They can rise up against you if they don't get enough attention. This is being tracked by morale, which you find at the bottom of the screen here. It currently says around the 2 hours with a check mark in the icon, which probably means that they are good for at least that amount of time. Next to the full game, Skull and Bones also has a ton of content planned post-launch for the upcoming years, which is free for all players. This contains in-game world events like special challenges. These vary from taking on ships from local factions or big corporations, the latter of which will be harder to take out and have stronger weapons in their arsenal. There are also smuggling contracts where you need to steal valuable cargo, raids to a nearby settlement or fort, and smaller themed events which will give new ship designs, weapons, furniture, and more. Furthermore, dynamic events can also appear that lets you board and plunder merchant ships. Sounds like there will be a lot going on in the years to come, and we will see what more it can bring us when the game releases on November 8th, 2022. Don't forget to subscribe for more on Skull and Bones. A like on the video would really help us out, and totally check out our previous video by clicking on the screen. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!